I'm trying to speak to your soul, and your soul is quiet right now.
My soul has bills, and so we are choosing. I'm like, goddamn! When you said, how much do you think the Great Barrier Reef costs?
I mean, that's a great question. I know that diving seems to be a really expensive hobby, but that's the one that you chose, so we're rolling with it.
I mean,
Hi, lovelies. Welcome to Flirting with Travel. I'm Lexi.
I'm Misty.
And today we are talking about travel goals.
Or travel desires. 2023 has come around. Lexi's doing her year of wonder. Way to outshine a motherfucker, I tell you. And I'm like, okay, what do I want to do this year?
What do you want to do this year?
It's like living in somebody's shadow. Lexi always comes up with these luxurious ass ideas, and you're just like, well, fuck, what kind of basic shit am I on?
Look, once you start traveling a ton, it starts. I'm not going to say it loses its luster, but
it loses its luster. Okay. It does. Well, it gets to be like, and then you're just like, what are you doing?
So you have to come up with loftier goals for how to make travel exciting. And for me, I have to have a time clock on it. So I was like, 7 wonders. It's got to be in a year. Like, what is speaking to your soul?
I don't know. I feel like adulting is kicking my ass. I think I've kind of mentioned this in other episodes, but like adulting is really like serious. And kudos to you guys that do this with kids, because that's even more aggressive.
Well, like travel with kids or just be an adult with children?
Being an adult with children.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, why would you want to?
I mean, it's aggressive. It's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
So like sometimes I don't plan, and I think that's one of the things I'm going through, right? A failure to plan is a plan to fail.
Yeah.
And honestly, I kind of feel like that's what's sitting on me right now.
Okay. So when you pick a destination of somewhere that you want to go, what drives you?
Normally, it's just I want to go. And I actually don't have places I want to go anymore. I just kind of end up there. It's very much like picking a place on a map and going.
Okay.
When I went scuba diving, and this is the other thing, right? Sometimes you don't realize that you set the bar so high that everything has to be higher than like the norm. So if the bar is here, I'm doing something that's here, and now my expectation is here.
Gotcha.
I feel like it's almost it's creating these like really high level expectations and then trying to achieve that every single time.
I mean, to me, that's not actually possible. So I try to not have too many expectations when I go into a country, because anytime your expectations are really high, I always feel like you're going to be let down. So it's more like, where does my soul want to go? Go there, experience it for whatever it is, and then get out.
I'm feeling like, okay, so I became scuba dive certified, right? I'm open water dive certified. I did my first dives in Bonaire. In the dive, like just diving ecosystem, Bonaire is one of like the best places to dive. Gotcha. It's not muddy water. Everything is shore diving, which means that there's like 100 points on the island that you can just park your truck, walk out the water, and you're diving, right? And it's beautiful, and it's lots of beautiful fishes. So I feel like I set the standard super high. If I go to like the Keys, I'm just like, what is this shit?
Gotcha.
But I do know that this year I do want to dive more. I want to at least get like 5 dives in.
Okay.
Just because the more you dive, the better you get. But also, the less frequent you dive, the easier you lose. It's like any skill.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess if I was in your shoes, and I'll probably never dive. I don't think that's where my heart is.
Ever?
Honestly, every time you've talked about it, I was like, is that in my soul? And it's like, no. No, my soul is empty where diving would be. My soul is generally full, but
okay.
In that area where diving would be, there's just nothing there. So
is it because you just don't like the water?
You know what? It's because I don't like hot weather destinations. I don't like anywhere that's going to have mosquitoes. So the idea is that, I mean, are people diving off of Iceland?
Yes.
Oh.
Actually, there's a really, really dope option.
Okay.
So if it was something, what did you say? The Aurora Lights?
Oh, Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights.
Is one of the 7...
Natural wonders of the world?
Natural wonders of the world. There is, in Iceland, there's two tectonic plates that touch. We don't touch, but you can dive in between the two tectonic plates, and
cool.
you can reach out your hands and touch both plates.
Okay. You know what? We're going to develop some travel goals for Misty. So what if we said that is one goal this year? Now, can you dive deep enough? Like, are you certified to dive deep enough to do that right now?
Yes.
Okay, so you could do that. What if you wanted to do the Great Barrier Reef, which is also a natural world wonder of the world? I'm just going to like go on these trips with her so that I can knock stuff off of my list and we can knock stuff off of your list.
So that's Australia?
Yes.
Okay.
And then what's one other dive place? A unique, like a real cool dive experience.
I'm not sure because I was gonna try to do some of the islands in the Caribbean, right? The Caribbean is right here from Atlanta.
Pedestrian.
It's not really because you can do in Dominica. That's what it is, Rue. Dominica. So Dominica, you can dive with the sharks.
Okay.
It's like I think the most hammerhead, but they're very docile. The Grand Caymans have like an amazing reef wall down there. I mean, honestly, if I could do the Maldives or the Maldives, I would really love that. They have beautiful water, and you can do Sri Lanka because Sri Lanka is like an hour flight, I think.
Okay, so you picked 3 things to do this year, and then pick one from the.
Do you know how big those are when you're adulting? So Australia is what, a 24-hour flight. I think America's also like just not located well.
It is challenging. Just the country is so big. I mean, you're kind of lucky though because you're in Atlanta. It's way tougher coming from Vegas because to get anywhere, you basically have to get to the to the East Coast, which is already a multi-hour flight. Then just to use that as your starting point. But
okay, so but if you did Australia, wouldn't it be easier to fly from LA?
Yes.
Okay.
For Australia. I want to say,
because it was 12 hours to Japan.
Yeah. There's a direct flight from LA on, what is their airline? Not Condor.
Qantas.
Yes. There's a direct flight.
I thought they were going bankrupt.
Okay. They have 2 airlines. One is Qantas. The other is something else. And one of them was going bankrupt.
Well, Qantas is a national airline. So I always thought it was crazy that they were going bankrupt.
I always wonder what's going on with the country. If their national airline can fail, like, how are they not supporting it? Because you just know that, like, United Arab Emirates would never.
Ever.
So with that in mind. Okay. So I feel like now it feels like you're already backing down from these goals. Here's the thing. You got to pick a big goal and then you have to commit.
I have commitment issues.
Don't hug the fences, Misty. Pick a side and stick with it.
I'm kind of stuck to the fence. I'm like that gecko whose pads won't release. I'm trying. Okay, let's talk time frame then. If we're going to do, if you're talking about Australia, which is forever away. Yes. Maldives, again, forever away.
Okay.
And what was the third one?
Iceland.
And
then one in the Caribbean. Just pick your favorite.
Iceland at least is kind of close.
Okay, so you're doing 4. That's 1 per quarter. Okay, so we were saying, let's go through a possible year. I'm over here making goals for you. She's not going to commit to these because these are ones that I'm aligning for your soul. I'm trying to speak to your soul, and your soul is quiet right now.
My soul has bills, and so we are choosing. I'm like, goddamn! When you said, how much do you think the Great Barrier Reef cost?
I mean, that's a great question. I know that diving seems to be a really expensive hobby, but that's the one that you chose, so we're rolling with it.
I mean,
okay, so we had said the Great
diving is like singularly the only hobby I really have aside from decorating my house.
I mean, you did really well with decorating.
This
is why we got to get you onto the good dives. Misty, you got to stunt on the other divers that you talk to.
Yeah, this is true.
Like, my first dive was in Bonaire, and then you know what I did to follow it up with? I went to Iceland and I touched tectonic plates. Then after that, just because I thought that you weren't shit, I went to the Maldives, and I was in there just hugging fish. And then you know what? Because you really aren't anything, I went to go see a natural world wonder. I was over there just hanging out with the barrier reef. And it was great.
So we will we'll have to price some of this. The Maldives and Sri Lanka, that's dope because I could do that hanging off the train picture. You've seen that one?
Oh, I love that
That is a Sri
one.
Lanka thing, as long as they don't have another hurricane.
This
so I
is
have to get there before September.
Okay. You know what the shame is? I feel like the Maldives is kind of a couple's trip, so I feel like I can't really go with you on that one. But I would love to go to the Maldives. You could invite me at any point. Oh shit, she wasn't going to. Okay, that was hurtful.
I mean, I didn't know where we were going with that.
I was throwing my bait out, and she
Lacey
said,
normally
"I'm not biting."
Lacey, she normally just comes. I don't ever. Okay.
Well, I just said it sounds like a couple's trip. I feel like you'd have to invite me for me to feel comfortable
You can come.
going. Oh, can I? Thank you. I mean, it makes it sound like I invited myself. Would you like to ask me if I want to go?
Would you like to go?
Oh my god, to the Maldives? That would be so cool. That sounds fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll set a date.
Yes. I want to hang out of a train in Sri Lanka. Thank you.
It's the whole
Thank
trip.
you for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Oh, wow, you invited me for one leg but not the other.
You're invited for both.
What is family to you, sister?
Wow. This is a lot of energy. It's so...
Okay. So
you're invited, but when are you going to fit Sri Lanka and the Maldives in your year of wonder?
Oh, you know what? Do you think that could go when I go to India?
Actually, it could.
Yeah.
Oh, then I could do Taj Mahal.
Nice. Because I didn't have anything to go to India, like, to
Oh,
pair
it makes
it
sense
with.
because he wanted to go to Taj Mahal with you anyway.
Perfect. Oh, wow. So now I get to third wheel. So we're inviting other significant others. Okay. That's cool. Do you see how fast this is evolving?
No, he invited himself on your trip anyway.
Fair point. Okay. Well, so we'll do
But
India,
it is right
Sri
there.
Lanka,
Right.
and the Maldives.
Well, let's just add one more person. Hey, you want to go?
Behind the camera. You want to go to India, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives?
When?
We don't
This
know.
year.
Sometime.
I'll think about it.
Not like March.
Oh yeah, I might be able to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, not March. Okay.
I can't say that on camera.
Look at that. We have a whole... Now we got a group.
Boom.
Okay.
Okay, so, and then the other thing is Maldives is expensive. Those overwater bungalows, you think those are cute for no reason?
That's why I was like, we get 7 of us, pack us in like sardines.
Can we please get another rollaway bed? They're like, babe, this is not made for that.
Right?
Okay, Sri Lanka should be affordable though. That's a very
Yes.
affordable trip.
I would assume that India would be too, because my goal isn't to like stay in India for a ton of time. I really just want to see the Taj Mahal, have some curry, and then like hop on out, because
with
we
you
have
on
other
that.
places to go.
I also have to make it to Qatar, whichever, to see my friend. Because she's there now, so she was like, hop over. So Qatar to Sri Lanka is a quick flight.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not so you're not joining on the Jordan trip? I know is there?
Jordan is Petra, so yes, you have to do that this year.
Oh no, I'm doing Petra this year, but how far is Jordan to?
An hour and a half.
Oh, nice.
Super
Okay.
close.
Okay, I'm gonna try and like drag Missy along to some of my trips this year because she's not thinking big for herself. So we got to think.
I
big
mean, the
for
time
her.
frame on this. Can you imagine the time frames on these?
I feel you. You know what? That's why. This is why I'm gonna try and like live in these places and be gone and be there.
Clearly, I think you're going to be gone most of the year. So Iceland is October if you're going to do Northern Lights.
Yes. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be chilly.
It was
You know what?
gonna
I
be
might
cold.
do Iceland as a stopover. That might be like a week. Well, I guess I could do that as a marquee trip. Just do Iceland for a week.
I mean, definitely. That is a rental car space.
Yeah.
They say some of the best hot springs are actually not the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon's iconic
Yes.
in the way of it's a tourist trap.
Yeah.
So much so that they've expanded it. And do you know a day pass at the Blue Lagoon is like $250?
What?
It is expensive.
I.
But they were like, if you get a rent-a-car, you can go out to some of the natural hot springs because there's a ton of them.
I'd be more inclined to do that. It seems weird. Like, would you go to Iceland and not go to the Blue Lagoon?
No, I definitely go to the Blue Lagoon. I think actually on the most adventurous vacation rentals on Netflix, they did Iceland. And I do feel that one of the things we have to do if you're going, because you're definitely probably going to go, is you have to hop in one of those ice holes.
Okay, so maybe this is going along with like the diving aspect is the idea of hopping in an ice hole makes me feel, and this might just be my paranoia, that I'm going to get caught under, not be able to find my way back to the hole, and then like you'll just slowly see someone dying underneath as you're trying to break through the ice to get to them. That's just my personal feeling and the idea of jumping.
What is that show that's on Netflix? Have you seen it?
No.
The Most Amazing Brains or The Most Amazing Humans.
Oh.
Have you seen that series?
Mm-mm.
Basically, I think it's voiceovered by Idris.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, this girl, she like dives in and she free dives.
Mm-hmm.
So she stays under the ice.
Mm-hmm.
And basically I feel like she's tormenting and torturing herself because she's trying to get over some real like traumatic experiences that happened to her. That's not what we're doing. I'm not saying we're hopping in and swimming. No, you get in, you like climb in, you sit there, and then you get out. It's just something you do.
Oh, is that like kind of, I want to say like, they do that in Norway and Sweden.
Yes, I was going to say like the Nordic.
Like you sit in the sauna, you warm up, you go into the like icy cold frigid water, and then you go back into the sauna. I mean, I would do it just for the experience, but do I want to? No.
So that's part of the experience.
Like I don't even like dipping my toe in cold water.
I
like
mean, that's just, it's a thing you're supposed to do.
No, I would do it. It's the same way that like you eat weird food when you go different places.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that. Would I be happy about it? No. Will I complain a whole bunch? Maybe. Probably.
I mean,
yes.
I have to go get a whole different wetsuit for this. It's like you need a thicker wetsuit to get in the water to be able to swim down there because it's so cold.
Okay.
Like naturally your body goes to like 76 degrees underneath the water.
Really?
In a 3 millimeter. So you need a thicker one that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well actually that's actually really cool. I'm excited about that.
Good.
I feel like that one is more affordable.
You know how expensive Iceland is though, right?
It's very expensive. Every location we've named on this list is not like a cheap vacation.
You picked diving as your hobby. You've made your bed.
You told me the Caribbean was domestic. It was pedestrian.
No, I mean, I said pick a Caribbean spot as like your 4th.
Okay. I'm thinking maybe Dominica. I don't know.
Nice.
Scott's Treat Travel had a flight. It was like to St. Thomas or Aruba. Maybe it was Aruba. It was like $300. But it seems like American Airlines has that on lock.
Oh, the entire Caribbean? Yeah. I think it's worth it just to keep on diving for you. I don't want you to feel like you can't. I'm not telling anyone that they can't go to the Caribbean. I call it pedestrian.
She doesn't like
just
beaches.
because I don't want to go to a beach. I don't want to be around mosquitoes. Those aren't my friends. I don't want them over there hanging out around me. The people that you just don't mess with, that's how I feel about mosquitoes. They don't get along with me. I don't get along with them. So why would I go to their home and be like, get away from me?
I do think I was talking about bucket list travel. Budapest and the hot springs were on my list.
Ooh.
Prague, I've never been. I want to do that. And then there's some phenomenal libraries in Prague, apparently.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I have been to Prague, but so that was when I was on my country count, and I spent about a day and a half. We did a 7-hour walking tour, which ate up a day.
You did a 7-hour walking tour for a day and a half? If you could redo that, would you still do the 7-hour walking tour?
A little bit, yes, because we got to see the highlights. So the first hour and a half was on a bus moving around Prague so that you could see like some of the fun buildings. Then they drove us to the top of the hill because their main cathedral is at the top of this intensive hill that we had climbed the day before. And I was like, I might die anytime. And honestly, if I do, please let it be before I get to the top because I would have been mad if I had to sweat my way up here to die. So with that in mind, we went to the top of the hill, visited the church. We got to see a lot of sights. We went to different restaurants that were good. I think there were like 2 restaurants on the tour, 7 hours, so there should be.
Right.
It was worthwhile. You're right. Would I do it again? Well, I mean, I would probably do a self-guided tour myself.
But you did a walking tour, so of course you're going to say that.
Yeah. You're right. The walking tour was worthwhile. The first time you go somewhere, we've talked about it, you should do a walking tour.
Always do a walking tour.
So now I just need to go back to Prague to enjoy it, to like be leisurely. Okay, so we've talked about your diving travel goals. Are there any, like just, maybe not for this year, is there any like travel goal that you just want to hit? That like anything in your heart that you're like, I just need to do that?
I feel like because I have these commitment issues, it makes it very difficult for me to be like, ooh, I have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It would be event travel. So, I did think about one thing I do want to do this year is an F1 race. Whether it's Baku, Azerbaijan in June, which I need to actually see if the circuit is there coming this year, or F1 in Vegas. And honestly, it's the inaugural race. So definitely should do that. In fact, that's something that we got to book soon because I know the MGM properties. No, Bellagio is not an MGM property, right?
I think it is.
Okay, that's what okay. So the MGM properties, Bellagio is doing a grandstand in the
fountain?
in the fountains.
Oh, that's
so
extra
if you
cool.
book a room, they'll give you 2 tickets to the race, and you can be in the grandstands when it passes by there because it's going down the strip.
The fact that they are doing an F1 race down the Las Vegas Strip might just be the coolest thing in the world. And I like to travel for events, but I would happily do F1 in Vegas just because that is legitimately
It's
a cool
November.
thing.
It's in November.
Okay.
Which is actually crazy. I have to see what the route is this year, or the locations, because Abu Dhabi always closes the Formula One. It's like Bahrain opens it, Abu Dhabi closes it normally. It seems like, but Abu Dhabi always closes it. And if that's in November, I do wonder if they're going to Abu Dhabi next.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
Definitely want to do it. I think Lewis Hamilton is hanging around because he wants that to be like his last race.
Oh, it's a cool race. Okay, well, you know what? Event travel has always been something you've wanted to do. Because, like, just through the years, you've said that you definitely want to go to an Olympics. You talked about F1 quite frequently as something you wanted to do. I know we missed this opportunity, but you'd said you wanted to go to, like, one of the big opens, but mainly it was to see Serena, so...
Missed that. You know what it was? What actually took it away from me was the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because I was going to go see it. Yeah. And then I think her final match was the US Open in September. And
We were going to Ireland, or we just come back from Ireland?
No, I was in Bonaire.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because we watched the match while I was in Bonaire on TV.
Yeah. So that means, you know what I will say? I talk about this with music all the time. If there are things that you want to do, people that you want to see, you've got to just do it now.
You just have to do it right. You can't actually even put it off. So I think I have to budget. Do you have a budget, like a travel budget every year, or are you just kind of like, this is what I do?
This is just what I do. I don't have a travel budget. I don't even have a real budget. Like, I mean...
Who's over here not adulting?
Look... We're adult by age only and the number of bills I pay. But as long as I know I can comfortably pay my bills, I'm good. And then everything else is just my travel fund. I know. I live a little irresponsibly, but that's how I wanted my life. That's how I set up my life. Some people have children, some people have homes. I've got an irresponsible bank account that I get to use in the way that I want to use it. You know, that's a conversation I have anytime someone's like, oh, I wish I could travel like you do. I was like, honestly, restart your life and you would have had the possibility. I decided not to buy into any of the traditional markers of wealth.
Well, yeah, she doesn't
or
believe
of
in
responsibility.
She doesn't believe. I mean... Okay, so if I had to say what my year would look like, it would be an F1 because I really have wanted to go. And that would be like a spring for it because I wanted paddock seats and everything. I want to be able to walk around, and if I could go and like see the pit, that would be so dope. And then it would just be a couple dives. I'd want to dive 5 times this year. So I would also do like some quick local dives, Florida, Keys, something close. And definitely Iceland. I can put that on the list because that's going to be cool. And the Maldives and Sri Lanka, that would be dope with India. So that's 1, 2, that's 3. And then plus that is 4. I feel like that's good.
Okay.
The Great Barrier Reef, maybe not so much. I'm not sure because that can easily be a $10,000 trip.
Can it really? Oh my gosh.
I mean, Australia, just the plane ticket is 2. Then you get to Australia, which is not cheap right here. And if you're in Australia, you kind of want to travel around because you've flown like 85,000 hours.
I have thought that. I think that's actually one of the things that stopped me from going to Australia so far is that it feels like it's just so far away. So if I go to Australia, I need to be there for a few weeks. and go around Australia. But then I also feel like I might as well do New Zealand while I'm there.
See?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. What you're like, I'm already here, and then this is how I feel. It sounds crazy, but you're there, so would you just go to Fiji?
Man, I would love to go to Fiji. It depends on, am I traveling by myself? Because Fiji is another couple's place. And like when I went to Tulum by myself, you're just sitting on the beach and you're not talking to anyone. And you're just like, do.
But Tulum is not a couple's place. Tulum is a party place.
It is. It's,
you know, wait, it's not even
so
comparative.
I'm not even saying that as like a couple's place. I feel like beach vacations are something that you have to do with someone else. Like you need at least a friend, family.
You should have stayed in a hostel. Where did you stay when you went to Tulum?
I stayed in a beautiful like hotel in the jungle. It was surrounded by trees. Inside, it was surrounded in trees. What was it called? What is your so it's not frankincense, Copal, Hotel Copal.
Oh.
Copal is a
resin.
Sorry.
I was like, how did we get here? Like, where did we, how did we?
Sorry. Copal is a resin that is native to Mexico.
Okay.
And you burn it over hot coal, and the smoke actually repels mosquitoes, but it's also used in like traditional ceremonies, in older like native things, in the same way that like frankincense is in the Middle East and oud is in the Middle East. Yeah.
Did you bring some copal back?
No, I had actually bought some in the U.S., plus my bag was stuffed. But that's how I remember the name of it, because they were burning copal all around the hotel, so it smelled phenomenal. Ooh. Plus, I never got mosquito bites inside the hotel because they had so much of the smoky feeling going on.
The mosquitoes couldn't navigate it.
Exactly.
Was it in your room as well?
No, but they had it like, if you're walking around the corridors, you'd have like little puffs of plumes of smoke coming up all over the place. If you go to the restaurant, they were burning it like every 15 minutes, dropping some copal. But that's
I love
how
it because they sprinkle it.
Mm-hmm.
Bali's on my list too. I really want to. Bali was my first solo trip, and it was an amazing experience. And I think I always hold it in my mind as like this, like sacred place because it was just so zen and so peaceful. I have noticed that the prices have gone up tremendously since I went.
Well, do you remember when they were doing that thing? It feels like they were kicking poor people out of Bali. They're like, we are not on your backpacking route. Take your broke ass onto Vietnam. This is not for you. Like, they're really allowing like digital nomads in. They're just raising the prices. And I think it's to get rid of like, you know, those poor tourists that go places and start busking on the streets.
Terrible. Absolutely horrendous. So, but I do think that like Bali also was like the Mexico for Australians.
And it probably still is that, but people are actually going with like money. Like not a ton of money.
Right.
In the same way that we would go to Cancun, you saved up, you went there. But I think for a while you were starting to get like the broke Americans that were like, oh, I've been living on $1.50 per day. I got my hotel for 80 cents.
Right.
And they're like, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to charge you $200 and let's see how your broke self lives here.
They're like, I have to go.
Yeah.
Because they did. I think the pandemic was a reset for a lot of people. They were able to put out these people.
Yeah.
Put these people out there in their country.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm excited. I'm getting excited. My spirit is getting excited. Sometimes it's just like,
see, we're going to get you there. You know, travel goals, you just have to have them. I mean, in general in life, you just have to have goals. But I do think you have to have something to look forward to. If you're only taking one vacation a year, your vacation's what you look forward to.
The thing I miss about living in the Middle East is the location. It's so close. It makes everything so affordable to go to. Yes. So it's not like the ticket is going to break you. A ticket is like $700, $500, $500 to $700. You can get something to go to like Europe. And that's uber affordable, especially if you're doing everything, if you're balancing it on points, right? I think I came back home, I realized like, one, there's so many extra little ancillary costs to living. The other part of it is that it's just so much more expensive to get everywhere. Yeah. I am trying to go through, like I have 180,000 points left for British Airways. Like I have 180,000 Avios points. I'm trying to get through those.
Do they go to Iceland?
I'm going to check. Maybe. British Airways might do it.
Like check everywhere you want to go and see if you can make it there. I think
I am. I'm going to do that. I'm going to book the tickets. And then from there, it's just hotel. And I feel like hotel is actually easier than the airfare.
Mm-hmm. You know what the best thing about travel goals are, or like the best way to kind of be somewhat faithful to them, is A, tell other people. Hence why I had to do like talk about this being my year of wonder, because now it's like I'm required to make it. If I don't, people are like, oh, you quit after like 4 wonders?
And she won't allow that to happen. I really do think I need a name though.
Okay. I mean,
if Lexi is doing Year of Wonder, imagine. Year of Wonder, if you haven't watched the episode, she's doing her 7 world wonders, or the 7 modern, what are they?
the 7 new world wonders.
She's doing the 7 new world wonders in the year of 2023. As of today, this is 15 January that we're filming this episode. So she's going to be starting, obviously, after the month of January.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're getting a late start. I think for yours, it's like Dive With Me or something.
Dive With Me. It's not as inspiring. Year of Wonder, Dive With Me.
Okay, well, we're going to think of something fun. That'll be the name of the video. So we're going to think of something fun for you. But like, what's the essence of what you want to do? Because see, mine was the World Wonder. So I'm like, yeah, the Year of Wonder. What's the essence of what you want to accomplish this year?
Very good question.
We'll figure it out.
Very good
We're going to figure this out, and we're going to...
Deep diving into 2023.
Ooh.
Deep diving into 2023.
Deep diving into 2023. I like it.
I'm not really sold on it.
Dive deep into 2023?
Not really. I don't like the, okay, let's just not reorder the words.
Well, I thought it could help.
No. I want something like Year of Wonder. Oh, you see the all like it's like, huh.
Okay, so do you like the idea of diving? Do you like the idea of depth? We're workshopping this.
We're workshopping.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll find out your phrase. We're gonna have to think about this offline.
What about soul searching? No, soul diving, deep soul diving. You like to sing? Okay, those are not good. Okay,
well,
those don't make you go. Oh.
The depths of 2023.
This shit sounds depressing. I don't like it. Okay. So capping, I'm going to do Northern Lights and the tectonic plates to dive in between those. That would be really dope. Mm-hmm. I'm actually committed to that. That's an October goal. Okay. I can do that for October. Okay. I need to book travel and probably need to book because Northern Lights is huge. So you probably need to book the hotel now. True. Maybe I could do one of those igloo joints.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Now that's a trip. That's a trip.
Yeah. Okay. So that I can do. I'm excited for that.
I think you should, even if you don't do anything else, you should throw on the Maldives. That way you can come to the Taj Mahal with me since that's already kind of established.
Okay, for her Year of Wonder and my year of ... Okay, we can do that. When do you think you're going to do that?
I mean, I literally
September
have no
is hurricane
real plans.
season, so that's not a good time.
I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. I'm just going when I go. So you tell me when you want to go and I'll go. Because literally, I'm still just trying to figure out what's the first wonder that we're going to make it to. And I thought it was going to be South America, but it might just be like knock off the Coliseum. And then... Okay. I just need a quick win. So for me.
Win.
Yes.
That's what I need. I need a quick win too. Year of quick wins. Shit. Years of financial freedom. Let's go for that. But that has nothing to do with travel. Okay, let's go...
You're really trying to think of when a good time is?
Because I thought we said summertime wasn't good, and I couldn't imagine being in India with it being humid.
I mean, they would be below the equator, so are their seasons opposite?
I'm not sure, but we should definitely look into that. Yeah. Because F1 is going to be November. So F1 is either going to be June or November.
So we know October is Iceland, and then November is possibly F1.
Do you think that you're going to get tickets to this?
I really don't.
Why?
I don't know if
Hey, anybody. If you're in Vegas and you work for one of the hotels or anybody that's associated with F1, you want to throw some tickets my way? Please.
Our way? Jeez. What is with the exclusions?
Because it's my year of discovery.
Okay. Discovering deep?
She just insisted on deep. What about just discovery? Year of discovery.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I could do this a self-discovery year through travel.
Year of wonder, year of discovery. I like it.
See, that's like year of discovery.
Okay.
So now I feel like I need to throw some. See, this is why I don't create goals, because then I make my goals super lofty, because I'm just like, it can't be just enough. Like, if you're going through discovery, what are you discovering?
I mean, I think we should discover some ayahuasca down in like Peru.
That would be really dope. Actually, I had said this a couple years ago. My sister wanted to do therapy. Like, we all go to therapy with each other just to work through our issues. And I was just like, I don't think traditional therapy would actually work. I think we need to go to like Brazil and do that.
We need a shaman to work us through our issues. That's
right.
how deep they are.
I thought that would be kind of dope. But if you're going to go do Rio, then maybe we could do that. We could go do the Amazon and get some ayahuasca, go in a tent, and like stress it out.
Explore. Oh, discover. We can just discover.
Imagine if you had an allergic reaction to ayahuasca. How would you know?
You hope you don't have bad travel insurance then.
That would be so horrendous. They'd be like, what happened? That's actually really scary.
Okay, well, I mean, don't think about that. Think about the positives. So I think we've outlined Misty's year of discovery.
I like it.
Which is going to involve some diving, some events, and she's just going to discover what leads to her passion. That's really what this is about. This is finding your passion.
Right. We are on the journey of making like one of us full-time for Flirting with Travel. Yeah. And I think we're trying to figure out how that actually works. Because it's not going to ever be the story of I sold all my possessions, all my worldly possessions, and I'm now traveling as a digital nomad full time.
I wanted that to be my story this year, but you know, when life just has other plans for you, look, you got to accept where life is telling you to go. I wanted to go there. Life said, no, I'm going to steer you in an opposite direction. So sometimes you just got to accept where life is steering you. Look. Jesus take the wheel. Jesus is taking the wheel. I'm in the back seat. I'm just being chauffeured, so I'm going where we go.
And I'm not selling all my worldly possessions. I work too damn hard to get all these things, so I'm not sure what that shit is, but that is not what I'm on. I'm on keeping all my worldly possessions, and then hopefully they make money so that I can do this full time, because this is actually what I enjoy doing. So year of discovery would be to try to figure out, or not to try, but to figure out not only so it wouldn't be like, it would be content, right? Mm-hmm. Finding your moments of peace through travel, which would be really, really nice, because I think sometimes in travel you get caught up in just like where you've been or trying to show off to a person or people and how you can take the best pictures to show that location, as opposed to like how it's impacting you. Because for me, travel has always been a sort of therapy. Mm-hmm. I've always found peace in just the different meandering of the country and like the exploration of it all. So for me, it would just be like not setting the bar too high that it's just like, did you actually accomplish it? Or if it's too overwhelming to get this goal, and just discovering the things that like bring me peace and settle my spirit to balance adulthood, because I feel like right now adulthood is out here just whooping my ass.
Yep. So we welcome you to join us on my year of wonder, Misty's year of discovery. We are going to be posting about it regularly because we have to be kept honest. So this is why I said you gotta A, tell other people about your goals, B, write them down. Those two things will like force you to actually be accountable. So hold us accountable. We are going to be telling you about our years as we move through 2023.
Yes.
So in order to know about that, subscribe. Go to Instagram, Flirting with Travel, and follow us there for more like, I won't say daily updates. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to flat out lie to your face, but for updates on our life.
But also, if you want to join the journal journey, JJ, the journal journey, tune into the Instagram. I am going to journal my way through 2023, and I will have journals available so that we can journal together, because I do find that it's very cathartic to journal through our journeys. And like acknowledge our experiences, because I don't like to be held accountable and I don't share. I journal. But if we can journal together, it would be phenomenal.
I love that. I can't journal. My journals are always, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? What are you doing?
But this is what we're going to talk about,
Yes.
journaling. So
Okay.
we'll talk through how to journal because I think it's really, really huge.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Until next time, guys. Peace.
That's all for this week. Link up with us on Instagram at Flirting with Travel, or check out flirtingwithtravel.com for itineraries and more travel hacks. Taking off. Love you.